So this is going to be part 3 of my oh my god, I'm moving my collection video. It's going to be a little different because I'm actually nowhere. I'm The move is done, but I am back in Colorado while I'm waiting for the job thing to work out, and so hopefully I'm only here for a couple weeks, and then I'll be back in Florida and I can start working on it. I have 2 little clips that I made during the trip, and so it's like one is in my office at the old house, and then one is what is going to be my collection room. So let me just show you those right now, and then after that, I'm gonna kind of talk about like the experience and stuff that I learned. So hopefully, it's stuff that will help you if you ever have to go through this. So let me show you those 2 clips, and then we'll come right back. Well, here's a sight I didn't think I'd ever see. This room is pretty much empty. I can't believe they got it all out of here. And yeah, walls all patched up. And man, so this is it. This is my big goodbye to our home in Colorado. Everything even in here is gone. So the next clip on here will be from sunny Florida. Okay, forgive the dirt on the wall. There's some stuff that's going to have to be worked on here, but this is going to be my new collection room. And still trying to figure out where everything's going to go. But definitely got potential. I mean, it's a decent sized room. I'm hoping that, I wonder if that's big enough, if that wall there is big enough for my 10 movie posters, and whether or not I can get the sabers between them or not, it's going to be a different story. But like I said, it's going to need a little work. Like in here, this is a little bigger, but not enough shelves, and I don't like these shelves. So these are going to come out. I'm going to put in proper shelving units, or put in proper shelves, I should say. And so like my sideshow figures, my saber hilts and stuff will be in here. Prop replicas, helmets. Maybe I can get a mannequin for my Stormtrooper armor. But yeah, this is gonna be nice. And here's the best feature here. Out here, come through here. Come out here. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time out here because it is hotter than Hades out here. All right. Okay, so yeah, I can't wait to get back. Mainly because my family's there. I'm living here in this temporary space for a bit. Like I said, hopefully it's not too long. But there's some things that I learned on this, because this is the kind of the first time I've moved my collection a lot. Like when I was still in the Air Force. It obviously wasn't as big as it is now. But the one thing that I did think, if you are going to be moving, I mean, I think if you're moving like across town, like we did that like several years ago. We moved from a place in town in Colorado Springs, and we kind of moved a little further out of town. And then, but what we did was at that time we did hire a company to move most of our stuff, but a lot of the collection I moved myself, a lot of the big items, and this time, you know, obviously a lot of that wasn't as feasible, but I did pack pretty much everything in my collection myself. So definitely do that. I think it's Matt at Universal Collector was one in one of the previous videos. He left a comment about leaving, you know, using a lot of bubble wrap and stuff like that. I did a lot of that, like packing like couch pillows and blankets and towels and everything in with with most of the stuff. A lot of like my carded figures are in like Protecto packs, like star cases. I think I've talked about them in other videos. And that was a kind of neat thing. It was like I found a whole bunch of unused ones, so I have a bunch more, which I'm pretty thrilled, because there's a lot of stuff that's coming that I am going to keep at least one card of, like a lot of these retro vintage figures from Mandalorian and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that when I get back. Um, Definitely when it comes to using a moving company, if you're not moving the stuff yourself, try to find. We were lucky that we found a company that was a smaller company, and they came and they loaded all the stuff on the trucks, and it did not leave the trucks until it got to our place in Florida, and that was definitely a big plus. I mean, if you go with some of these bigger ones, and I'm not knocking them, this is just something that happens with them, and because I've used them in the past, and I haven't had too much of a problem with them because like the military uses them all the time. But it's like the bigger companies like United Van Lines or those types of companies. What they will do is they will put your stuff on a truck, a large truck, and they will move it. Sometimes if they're going to put it in storage or something, if it's going to take time, or they're gonna stop along the way and pick other people's stuff up, and so it gets all mixed in on the truck. They're good at separating the stuff, but sometimes people are human. Things happen, and things end up in other. You can read reviews of these companies online. They end up with stuff that's not theirs. So I mean, it happens, and luckily, if that risk is mitigated if you have like a smaller company where they just bring their own trucks, and it's they don't mix it with anybody else's stuff. I'll tell you right now, moving right now is kind of expensive, and we actually lucked out that the company that we used, they were packing up another guy and bringing him back to Colorado. So that really kind of worked out for us money wise. Another option to look at if you're not going to like just do like a U-Haul and move everything yourself, there's like we have here in the there's a company like Pods. Is it Portable On-Demand Storage is what it stands for. They just because one of my coworkers who's also going to be of this group that's going out, he used that. They had like movers come and just load the pod, and then they bring it and they dropped it off, and they got movers at the other end to help them unpack their stuff. It's another option, and it tends to be a little less expensive than say like a moving company or basically just any kind of moving company. So there's that. But I can't really think of much else to say about this. Like I said, it's going to be a while before I'm really looking at the space that I'm using. That it's going to be my office when I get back, and how I want to set it up. And that it's kind of exciting for me. I'm kind of looking forward to that. The other thing is I mean, this was a lot. It was very stressful because we're just moving everybody, and at the same time that's the uncertainty with like how long I'm going to be here with my job and stuff. But that's totally unrelated to the moving a collection thing, and it's going to work out, and it's going to be great. One of the things I do like about the area is thanks to like SpaceX, especially because they're putting up Starlink, there's no shortage of rocket launches, and I swear that is never getting old. I've actually started a new playlist on my channel just called Rockets Going into Space, and because we found some really good places on the island that we can go and watch them, and then like one's just from my neighborhood, so and that wasn't even that bad. So the kids love it. I mean, my kids are 11 and 8, and this fall they'll be 12 and 9, but they just think that is like the neatest thing. So I was really glad to see them get excited about that. And plus, there's so much to do in that area, like the Cocoa Beach area. There's a lot of fun, but so. Unfortunately, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but it's starting to look like it won't be too long, just a few weeks. It's all moving at the speed of bureaucracy. But all my collection right now is like all my pre-orders got moved. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. It was changing the address on pre-orders. Now, most of your companies were really good. Most of the online companies were really good. Amazon, if you've used those, it's just update your, you just update your address, and any outstanding orders is pretty easy to edit. Same with like your Entertainment Earths. The two that I had a problem with, one was a bigger problem than the other, was the well, one was GameStop. They don't. I could not find a way to update my shipping address on that. So I do have a couple of pre-orders with them. It's the Delta Squad stuff because it's exclusive to them. But luckily, what I did was I canceled the order and I reordered the stuff, and with under the new address. That one wasn't so bad. It's just kind of a hassle. The other, like the Target exclusives, I was able to do update address no problem. But Walmart, my God, if somebody from Walmart ever sees this video, y'all need to fix your online stuff. I tried talking to them about changing my address because I couldn't find a way to do it on the website, and I ended up doing like the virtual chat, talking to somebody, and they will, for security reasons, will not change your shipping address, which is probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I always joke around that Walmart only screws up exclusives on days that end in Y. And man, did they really live up to that one on this. So there's a bunch of stuff that, like, there's all these the Finish the 96 figures that are coming out. There was a couple other, like these 2-packs with like the Flame Trooper and stuff. So what I ended up doing, and this is one thing, you got to be quick. I canceled my order and then I immediately went back in and reordered it because there's stuff in the system, and I was able to get most of the stuff. So right now, the only one that I think is that new R2-D2 with sensor scope, Finish the 96, that I was not able to get back in my cart. Plus, those new OT style stormtroopers with the rocker ankles and the whole, so they're like the definitive, what I'm thinking are going to be the definitive original trilogy stormtroopers. I had ordered a bunch. I was lucky. I got a bunch pre-ordered. And then but it turns out that, I was only able to salvage about half of that because I just wasn't fast enough. It was a pain and I hated it, and I'm really kind of angry about it. But, in the end of the day, it's, Star Wars figures. And I was able to get most of it, so I'm happy with that. And it's going to be a little bit more work, and I'll get that R2-D2 down the line. But it was just, man, Walmart, do something about that. Update your system. Everybody else can do this. It's not a security thing. It's a lazy thing. As far as lessons learned, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry, it's been like a month, and it's weird as like the last video I did was I got 200 subscribers, and then since then I haven't put anything out except I threw a couple of rocket launches on that new playlist. But I got like 20 new subscribers, and thanks. Hey, welcome. But that should do it for this one. I want to get it out, and one thing is, like, for this interim time, I'm still going to try to do stuff. It won't be collection videos because here, if you look, I'll add a picture over here of my wife sent me of the pre-orders that are showing up at the house. And she's stacking them up in my closet, which is kind of funny. And I'm just keep getting notices from Entertainment Earth and Amazon and Target that stuff's coming in. I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of excited to see stuff. Like one of them's like that new deluxe Boba Fett. I really like that figure, and so I'll get to that stuff eventually. It's there. It's just patience. It's just something I always preach in this hobby is patience will pay off. But as far as content, there's some things I wanted to do. Especially now that they've announced it. Well, they haven't really officially announced, but it looks like there's going to be like a season 2 of Book of Boba Fett, and I've wanted to put out, like I call it, my Book of Boba Fett book report. I'm kind of motivated to do that now. I'm actually rewatching the series, and so I'll put that's probably something I'll do. I might do one for Kenobi because that kind of happened like during the move. That finished up, and I don't know if you watched like the breakdowns that Paul and Paul's Collectibles did with Bailey and Christian. They did a great job too, but I would like to maybe do my little summary, because I mean, I have a very, if you've noticed in my collection, I have a bit of an Obi-Wan focus. So I might go down that, because there was a lot of neat stuff in that. And excuse me. But so I'm going to start working on those, and I'll try to get that done. It's kind of tough. I kind of have the time because, like I said, I'm kind of living me right now with my mother-in-law's cat. But that should do it for now. Thanks so much for watching. This is a little different than what I normally do. And if you're subscribed, thank you. I really always do appreciate it. Leave a comment below if does this help you. Like, if this, are you moving in the future? I hope this helps somebody. What do you think? Did I miss anything? As any kind of experience you've had moving, I would love to hear it. Because I'm sure, hoping that somebody watches this, they read the comments, maybe it helps them. That's really why I did this whole series. So my next step will be, in this will probably be another room tour once I get everything set up out there, when I get there. But again, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you always. The Force will be with you.